Hello, everybody. It's me again, Rich Andre. And today we're going to be talking about a topic which is, let me just adjust this, okay? A topic which is called homeostasis, okay? So this is one of the more fundamental topics that are discussed, within the realm of science. If you ever heard this, you probably already know what this means, okay? But if you don't, here is where I'm going to explain what homeostasis is. So let's first define what this word means, okay? This homeostasis is a Greek word, are Greek words, okay? It's made up of Greek words, ancient Greek words, ancient Greek words that means, okay? That basically just means okay. So homeostasis is basically just stands for two ancient Greek words that means equal and holding still. Okay. So given those two definitions, okay, given those two root words of homeostasis, we can effectively deduce that homeostasis is basically just staying still, something that is staying still, okay? So let's get on to the actual definition of homeostasis. It's basically just the way your body, balances itself, balances its processes, okay? So your body has a lot of processes that happens every single day, every single moment, every single second without you even thinking about it. For example, the respiratory system, okay? It allows you to inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. That is one of the ways that your body maintains homeostasis. For another example, your circulatory system, okay? Your body is basically just pumping blood in order for the entire system that composes of your whole body, in order for them to function properly, okay, to survive, okay. So that's what the importance of homeostasis is. The definition of homeostasis is just the way your body balances its processes, okay. So there are two components of homeostasis, okay. So you have positive feedback, okay. So in positive feedback, okay, it basically, let's just give it an example, okay? Let's just give it an example. Whenever someone is delivering a baby, okay? Let's say you have a pregnant woman, okay? Let's say you have a pregnant woman. When she is delivering the baby, okay? The cervix, okay? The brain basically just gives out this chemical to signal to the cervix to contract. And that's called oxytocin. Okay, and that chemical basically just causes the uterus to contract while in labor, okay, while delivering the baby. And the oxytocin, okay, this oxytocin just piles up, okay. It doesn't stop until the baby has been delivered, okay. And if something piles up until to reach a certain point, okay, that is what we call positive feedback. If something piles up to reach a certain point and get stronger until it reaches that point, which in this example is a woman who is delivering her baby, okay, is called positive feedback. That is what we call positive feedback. Okay. So we could also have, okay, for example, when you have a wound, okay, when you have a wound, let's say on your knee, okay, let's say you have a wound on your knee. Just pretend that this is a wound, okay. So that wound, okay, there are many autoimmune sort of responses that facilitate the healing of that wound, okay. So to that extent, okay, there's what we call blood clotting. And blood clotting is a positive feedback because, okay, the components that is needed in order to close the wound piles up and it gets stronger until this wound stops bleeding and is covered, okay? So blood clotting is also a good example of what we call a positive feedback in homeostasis, okay? So conversely, we also have a negative feedback. Now, the negative feedbacks in homeostasis, these are processes that happen because of a certain cause, okay? That cause could be anything. Like, for example, okay, let's say you have, let's say you drank too much water, okay? Say you drank a lot of water, okay? And you weren't even that dehydrated, okay? Now that water, that extra fluid that has been digested inside of you is going to be expelled, okay? Through urine, okay? And that's what is a primary example of negative feedback, okay? Something happens to your body as a natural process because of a certain cause. So that is what negative feedback is, okay? Something happens because of a cause. No. Something happens because of a cause. That's basically what negative feedback entails in homeostasis. Let's give another example, okay? Let's say you have a dust allergy, okay? So let's say this is your nose, and dust, you inhale dust through your nose, okay? And what happened is, okay, it triggers a sneeze. There was a cause, there was an effect. That's basically what negative feedbacks, okay, entail within homeostasis, okay? So what are the dangers, okay? What are the downsides? Given that these are both positive things, okay? These are upsides of homeostasis. These are upsides, okay, of homeostasis. What about the downsides? So homeostasis, okay? So the downside would be, okay, this is just an example, okay? Autoimmune responses. Now, I'm not going to be giving out like certain cases or certain conditions that pertain to this, but you can just say that the downside of homeostasis, okay, some homeostasis, some processes that are included in homeostasis, there is a downside to them. The downside being uh, being overly excessive when it comes to the responses that the homeostasis processes has you undergo, okay? when the response is too excessive for a certain situation, that becomes negative. Okay? That's basically one of the downsides of homeostasis. Okay? So that's basically it. Okay? That's a good overview of homeostasis. It's basically just the way your body balances its processes and makes you live. Okay? It lets you survive even in the face of change within your body. Okay? Even with the constant changes that happen in your body, it lets you survive by controlling certain things, certain processes. Okay? So that's basically it. If you learned anything, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, please give me your feedback in the comments. And I will be sure to read it. Okay? So thank you guys for watching. This is me, Rich Andre, and I'll see you guys in another video. Love you guys.